This textbook has over 965 pages and I intend to read it for 1 week. I know you probably have a lot of questions like, how did you do it? Is that even possible? But you're going to find out in this video. But first, I want to give you guys a backstory. Let me just drop this thing quickly. Hi, my name is Fad and I'm a 400 level student in University of Ibadan here in Nigeria. I'm preparing in a few months time for a professional exam in my course, nursing. And this book is one of the numerous books that I have to read to pass one of my numerous professional exams. And because 1 week has 7 days, I had to manage my time properly if I'm going to be able to meet up to this challenge. But something happened on the 7th day, however. I was on my way to my department, my favorite place of reading, just a corner of my department, and then this happened. Well, if you're wondering if I was fine, if anything happened to me on my phone, let's just start from day 1. We'll come back to that when we get to day 7. Right, on day 1, the objective was simple. I had to read 6 chapters. This textbook consists of 38 chapters. To be able to finish it in a week, which consists of 7 days, I had to read at least 6 chapters every day. I mean, it's actually 5, but I give myself 6 because I would definitely have a tendency to not finish up to that. So you get the point. Anyways, to be able to achieve this, I needed techniques that will enable me to read as fast as possible. And so I went online and I did some research, and I realized that the best way to read fast was to skim, the skimming technique. Skimming simply means reading only the main idea without exactly going into deep details, and so that was exactly what I did, except there are some areas in this textbook where I had to really note down some details, and that took some time, but I was still able to do it quite well. Not for all the chapters, also from particular subtopics that I needed more details on. So I used the skimming technique, and I also used the external brain system. I call it external brain system. I think it has some other name. It simply means noting things down, making a note on what you read. I was reading at a very fast rate. I had to quickly jot things down, abbreviate, and do all sort of quick schematic representation rather than writing the whole story and notes. And on the first day, I was able to finish the first section, which had 2 chapters. We talked about ethical roles in midwifery, and I also finished section 2 as well. We talked about the human anatomy and reproduction, and I think except 1 chapter though, because that had a lot of chapters. Now, if you don't like the video at this point, kindly like the video and support my channel. I film content on academics and productivity generally, so if you're into that, you can also consider subscribing. Alright, now to day 2. On day 2, well, things pretty much went well. I also did not crash on the road. Nothing happened. I got to where I was going safely. I love to read at department. I read from chapter 7 to chapter 12, another 6 chapters, and because I was just skimming, it was easy to just read through, skim, and jot down. Many of these topics have been taught in the past, and I related well to them, so I didn't really need to take much note. I was able to read quickly through it and move on. And then I repeated the same on day 3 down to day 6, except day 4. Day 4, I was not able to meet up to my objective. I only read 4 chapters. I was exceptionally tired on that day, and so I only read 4 chapters. In fact, the 4th chapter itself, I just also I couldn't finish. But trust me, on day 5, I tried to make up for that, and I read at least 1 extra chapter, so which made my total objective on day 5 7 chapters. And I think I did 1 extra one on day 6 too. Now that brings us to day 7. The day it happened. And so, like I already said earlier, I was strolling down into my school compound like a regular guy, a regular student, like every other person, with the aim of finishing the last 5 chapters. And so this happened. I fell, my phone fell, and it was a disaster. Well, it was not much of a disaster. I pretty much exaggerated the video you saw in the beginning. There was no car crash. That was a video editing rubbish. I fell, although I fell and my phone fell, and it kind of cracked a little bit, but that was all that happened. We just needed to tell the story in the beginning and to get you to watch to this point, and I really hope that it worked. I really hope that it worked and you learned one or two things along the way. And it's a possible feat to read a textbook for a week. It's a possible feat. So you can actually achieve it if you really put your mind to it. If you want to embark on a journey like this yourself, if somehow, some way I've been able to motivate you into doing something similar, you need to learn how to read for a long period of time. I think a video should be on screen right now that talks about everything like that. How to stay concentrated for long without getting bored, because you need to be able to maximize all the time you have to be able to meet up with the challenge. If you are motivated, if you want to try it out on one of your favorite textbooks, then watch the video on screen first and then go and explore. I'll see you there.